And this is a complete dismissal of cultural wisdom, a spiritual legacy, because the real control is already unfolding behind the curtains
Yes.
with this type of technologies.
If you decide you want to take a genetic test and your genetic test shows that you have predisposition to diabetes, even though you don't have diabetes, my biggest concern is this information will be used against you. Welcome to Vibrational Revelations. I know many of you have been waiting for us to release this episode with so many questions, and we're going to dive right into it. Today, we're going to talk about the technological tyranny. Some, I don't know who, maybe those that are asleep might think it's actually here to keep us safe. And perhaps that was the initial idea of when Palantir started. After careful review, we thought it might be a great idea to also include the Patriot Act of 2001, uh, which happened after 9/11 in October of 2001, because Palantir and Patriot Act emerged around the same time frame. So we'll give you a little bit of a background about those two things, which Palantir is a technology, right? And the Patriot Act would be more of like, Alejandro called it the permission slip for government to really just spy on people, okay? And then we'll reveal the two co-founders of Palantir technology or technologies, and that is Alex Karp and Peter Thiel, which I'm sure it's been a topic of conversation recently around the world. And I know that I had a girlfriend reach out from Europe. She's like, yeah, in Germany, everybody's freaking out. What do you know? What do you think? So we thought this will be a very interesting episode. So let me just give a little preface of where the ideas perhaps originated from, and then we'll go into revelations, okay? So Palantir Technologies did not create the Patriot Act, but it helped implement its vision, where the Patriot Act gave government agencies the legal authority to collect data. Palantir gave them the technological power to make sense of it. Okay. Key connections between the Patriot Act and Palantir. I don't even know where I was before you interrupted me, but okay. Shared origin post 9/11, security expansion. Oh, I said that we were going to go through the list of which countries are implementing that. So it's not just concerning United States. And this is where I just want to mention it, because sometimes we'll have people say, why are you reading things or revealing frequencies that are related to America? Well, as we've said in the past, that it's very important what happens in the United States because it has massive effects all across the world. So the Patriot Act of 2001 gave US government agencies broad power to conduct surveillance and gather intelligence to prevent terrorism. Palantir Technologies was founded in 2003 directly in response to the intelligence community's urgent need for better tools to analyze massive amount of data collected under the new surveillance power. Now, their missions are also aligned. The Patriot Act enabled agencies like CIA, FBI, NSA, and DHS to collect vast amounts of personal and digital data.
INS as well, which is ICE.
Yeah, we'll go into that soon. Palantir created platforms like Gotham specifically to help those agencies analyze that data quickly and effectively to identify threats. Okay, so this is interesting. It's leading into eventually who's going to be considered a threat. The CIA connection. In QTEL, the CIA's venture capital arm was an early investor in Palantir. This partnership aligned Palantir's development with the goals of US intelligence agencies empowered by the Patriot Act. Now, the next is technology that operationalizes the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act authorized broader use of tools like national security letters and surveillance without traditional oversight. Palantir software gave agencies the capability to track individuals, relationships, financial movements, communications, and behavior, often using the data gathered under the Patriot Act provisions. Now, some of the ethics controversy and surveillance debate. Critics argue that Palantir work in tandem with surveillance powers of Patriot Act has enabled overreach, profiling, and privacy violations. Palantir's contracts with ICE, which in the news recently you're hearing about ICE and crackdown on immigration, right? And they created these apps and local law enforcement have faced scrutiny, particularly over immigration raids and predictive policing. Now, before I go into, well, let's just dive into Patriot Act, all of the descriptions where it is implemented, and then we'll go into Revelations. Okay, I'll give the frequencies of the Patriot Act, and Alejandro will do the frequencies for the Palantir.
I mean,
Okay.
it was created from the need, or birthed from the need of safety and prevention, right? And
Yes.
I mean, is not a bad idea, but to what extent is going to be
So we'll go into
implemented?
let's go into the summary of Palantir Technologies. It was founded, as I said, in 2003 by Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, Nathan Gettings, Joe Lansdale, and Stephen Cohen. Their core mission was to help governments and corporations analyze and integrate massive amounts of data to make strategic decisions. So this is how also I think, like, for example, when you're on social media, you're scrolling, AI knows like your habits of what you are likely to click on, what videos you're likely to watch, what things you're likely to buy. So it's studying your behavior.
It was like one of his comments that actually
Who's Peter Thiel's?
Peter Thiel's comments that freaked out many people, especially in Europe, when he said, "I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible." So that he perceives the will of the masses as a threat to a strategic control. So that it comes from
Yes.
pretty much using this institution, organization.
Well, Palantir is the technology,
The
using that
technology,
technology.
right.
So some of their main products for Palantir is Gotham. It's used by intelligence agencies, military, and law enforcement. Foundry, which is a second one, it's enterprise platform for business data integration and operation. And then Apollo for continuous software deployment and system monitoring. Key clients, okay, are US government, agencies like CIA, as I said, NSA, ICE, military branches, also corporations in healthcare, finance, energy, and logistics. And I do want to say that, I don't know the laws of every state in United States, but I know in the state of Florida, this is just an idea, and maybe some of you who are curious can look this up. I'm a medical provider, and as a licensed medical providers, as of July of this year, so if before, let's say you were required to take certain amount of continuing education hours and then apply for your license every 2 years, you no longer can actually apply for your license just by doing that. You have to get fingerprinted and you have to apply with the Department of Defense. So all of your information has to be completely disclosed. This is state of Florida. I'm sure this is going to be unfolding in every state in the United States, but this is happening already. Like, I just renewed my medical license and this had to be done. And it's valid for 5 years. So every 5 years, you have to get fingerprinted. They have to run your background check, and your information is already stored with the Department of Defense. It's really interesting. So
which I think
it's just,
is a must.
it's
I mean,
but
I've done it for my real estate broker's
yeah, but
license.
never with Department of Defense. This is new. This has never happened before. So let's just see where it's headed. So this is just something to think about. Now, initial funding, this is Palantir, backed by InQtel, the CIA's venture capital firm, which influenced its early focus on counterterrorism and national security. Listed on the NICE in 2020 via direct listing, NYSE, right? Name origin. So here's the interesting name of where Palantir came from. It was inspired by Palantiri from J.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. I don't know how many of you have read Lord of the Rings. Okay. In the books, Palantiri are magical seeing stones that let users view distant places and communicate across time and space. Symbolizes the company's aim to provide powerful, far-reaching insights into complex data. The controversy around Palantir is it's criticized for its involvement in mass surveillance, predictive policing, and immigration enforcement, raises ethical concerns about privacy, data use, and government outreach. The headquarters for Palantir is in Denver, Colorado, and the current CEO is Alex Karp. Now, I wanted to give you countries that are using Palantir at the moment.
But how interesting is that? The first was Dodge, and
Oh,
based
yes.
on what they were sharing, it didn't match our findings when it came to transparency, especially.
Yeah, do you remember the
integrity.
episode about the Doge?
And we said they're definitely hiding something. This is obvious to us based on the numbers. And I remember sharing that I feel that it has to do with incorporating or integrating blockchain and also
The AI
using
technologies.
the AI technologies. The interesting thing is, so few things came to light after that. But the most interesting thing is that Palantir was formed a partnership, right, with
Doge.
Doge and Trump. Actually,
Them. And then also Peter Thiel invested a lot of money into JD Vance, the vice president.
Well, JD Vance actually
worked for him.
for Peter Thiel. Yes, he's the one who they say they groomed him to become the vice president, and without a doubt, one of the donors too. No, I supported him too.
Yes. So now let's go. And I actually think back. Remember when we did 4 years ago, I think, or 5 years ago, we did an episode on crypto, and we talked about how we felt. This was 5 years ago, I think, that we felt it's going to be part of some kind of government. Government is going to use it as new money, right? Or to replace the money that we have. And I actually shared in the last in the interview that I did on YouTube that if you go into our post offices now, and I don't know if it's across all of US states, all the cities, but like our post offices, you can no longer use cash, which I thought was very interesting. Yeah, it says we don't no longer accept cash. So slowly it's getting implemented. So now I want to dive into countries that use Palantir technology. So of course, United States, and I've read where they use it, UK. It's used by NHS, Ministry of Defense, and Intelligence Services. Use cases like healthcare, so COVID-19, logistics, security, and defense analysis. France has adopted post-2015 terror attacks. And this is what my thinking too is, with all of the social unrest, civil unrest that's happening around the world, people are going to want to feel more secure. So this is one of the ways. This is why I said, is it for safety reason? Perhaps that was the initial idea, but at what point is spying on people and using that data is okay? So France is using it for anti-terrorism and intelligence analysis. Germany, state and federal police, example, Hesse, North Rhine, Westphalia, use cases predictive policing and criminal investigations. In Canada, it's also used government and military, in defense intelligence and public health. In Denmark, which I did share during the last interview, that it's already being used. National police use localized version of Palantir Gotham called Pol Intel, predictive policing, criminal data, and integration. Australia is using it, defense and intelligence operation, military logistics, and threat detection. Netherlands is using it, law enforcement, anti-terrorism units. Switzerland is also using it in government agencies, fraud investigations, financial intelligence, and compliance. Let's see. Sweden is using it, or it says its interest is expressed in national security sectors. Poland, it says possible exploratory use in national defense and intelligence. So not everyone is disclosing. Israel, it says, is reported believed to have worked with Palantir in defense and cybersecurity, and it is undisclosed. Ukraine actively uses Palantir since 2023 in battlefield logistics and real-time war data analysis. Spain, Spanish Ministry of Defense uses Palantir Gotham under $16.5 million contract. Additional partnerships in smart mobility, urban infrastructure, adopted by energy logistics and consulting firms. New Zealand is also using it in their intelligence and defense, including GCSB, SIS, and defense forces. Let's see, it's been used during COVID. Italy, it says healthcare. They use it in healthcare. Palantir Foundry is used by Policlinico Roma via its digital center for managing clinical and research data. I know that in US, there's many different platforms, for example, where you can keep or interact. You know, a few years back, we had to put all of the patient's data, like before you had charts, right? All the charts, medical charts were paper charts, and then you had to upload all of them, I would say in the last 5 years, to online database, and supposedly it's all enclosed. But more and more what I'm seeing, there's one that's emerging that is very convenient to use. Most hospitals use it, and then independent clinics, independent providers, at least in the United States, are all tending to use this one particular database for patients' charts. So like, for example, you go to a hospital, and I'm sure in Europe you have the same system. It's very easy to message the doctor. It's easy to message the patient, interact with other healthcare providers that are all attached to that. So the way I see it, it's all going to be linked. All your medical data, your banking, your movements, whatever your patterns online are, this is where it's going. So Italy is using it in Latin America, in Brazil. So Palantir is partnered with Sampo Seguros Brazil, using Foundry to support insurance pricing, underwriting, and risk management. And this is where I also think people are going to get, like, especially in the United States, you'll get rejected by insurance if you have pre-existing medical condition. And I think in Europe there is no such thing, but in US it's very real. So for example, if you decide you want to take a genetic test, and your genetic test shows that you have predisposition to diabetes, even though you don't have diabetes, or you have predisposition to, let's say, Alzheimer's or cancer gene, it doesn't mean that you have this disease, but there is a genetic SNP in you. My biggest concern is this information will be used against you. So then the question becomes, or you might say to yourself, do I really want to take all these genetic tests? Because I know that these tests are going to be most likely used against me, and therefore insurance companies will be most likely rejecting services, or who knows what else goes on in the background, like how it's going to be used against each individual. So there's a lot that is unknown, but it's already playing out. So in Brazil, it's also used in media and enterprise. Latin America's largest media company, Grupo Globo, relies on Palantir Foundry for data integration across its multi-channel platforms. So it's already happening, right? Likely broader adaptation in financial, telecom, logistics sectors through government involvement, and they say it remains limited publicly. So again, this is what they're disclosing. What is not disclosed is the part that we don't know. And this is the part that we're going to dive in and give you the frequencies. So whatever is unspoken, you'll know, because we're going to dive into not only the vibrational frequencies, but we're going to dive into their service to others, relationship to others, integrity to others, and transparency, which are all
I
very
mean,
important numbers.
they created the platform, you know, with the specific algorithms and so forth to connect the dots and pretty much build a profile, or your profile, personality profile, and everything about you that is known. Now with AI, things are being expedited, yes, to where really the only way to actually enjoy or have your privacy is by disconnect from technology, period, and go off grid, live on the top of a mountain, and not to have a Wi-Fi, an internet connection, not to use your cell phone, because what is happening with AI is that it's been integrated in all systems. You know, it's listening to your conversations, whether your phone is on and or off. Everything that is all your activity is being tracked online, social media, internet, all your data when it comes to health, finances, and so everything is going to be interconnected, and it's being interconnected in a way to where it's pretty much whatever you said on the phone is being recorded and all going to one database. There's going to be a stored in one database. You're going to have your own. You're going to have your own folder without paying. Yeah, that's a freebie,
Yeah.
but that freebie is gonna be for pretty
Eh,
much anticipating your moves and learning about you and controlling you for control. And that is the thing. I don't have any issues with it with technology. I mean, I love technology. I think it's amazing and it's a great tool. But unfortunately, if it lands on the wrong hands, it could be used as a weapon, and instead of for the benefit of humanity. And this might be the case.
It's interesting. Like, I always wonder, like, younger generation, like, are they in tune with it or not? So many are addicted to their phones, to their apps. My kids overall, actually, like my second son completely deleted all social media a couple of years ago, Andrew, and he was like, yeah, I don't need it. It's a distraction. Even Sophia, she recently moved here and she's like, I just realized it was making me antisocial. So I'm very curious how many young people are going to start waking up. Are they going to be more pulled and addicted towards the technology because it is going to be more and more irresistible?
Yes.
Um,
My feeling is that we're still going
it's going to suck
through the
people in.
wave of right people being sucked in and being addicted to it and plugged in
And
24/7. And then after they realize that AI is replacing their jobs and it is taking over and they're actually breathing and feeling the control, uh, um, then they're going to rebel, right? They're going to be rising against it and deciding, okay, this is not such a great idea because they know everything about me, and they're the ones dictating my moves. So then we're going to go through that wave of um, like a revolution type of thing. I don't know how far along we are, but that seems to be the course that we're taking.
Just also another thing about healthcare, I just wanted to say, because that's my passion too. A girlfriend of mine called me yesterday. She works in a hospital, and she's like, we had an emergency meeting yesterday with the CEO of a huge hospital here, and they're letting go of a lot of people, replacing a lot of jobs with AI, but also saying that they're going to, in the near future, start turning patients away from hospitals. This is unreal. And also predicting that many smaller hospitals are going to be shutting their doors. So this is a very interesting time we're headed in. And it makes me think about all of these latest interviews that I've done, with the astrologers like Joni, and then recently with Helena, talking about the fall of the collapse of the medical system, the jobs, people losing jobs. So just all these things that are precursor to what is about to unfold. Just it's important, I think, to really look at your life through a lens and see what is working, what is not working. That's why I've always said minimize, eliminate things that are not working in your life, and just focus on what is working, what brings you joy, because that ultimately is irreplaceable.
But imagine just now that the latest, I would say the last two generations, that they feel the chaos to the core, as of wanting to be the heroes of it and to change what's no longer working.
Mm.
And they're already, some sort of like a silent revolution is already taking place around the world now. They don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be told what to do. They want to experience freedom. So, but that is the first phase, right? And because the real control is already unfolding behind the curtains,
Yes.
with this type of technologies. And so whenever that's clear, see, now is this dismantling the preconceived ideas, a dismantling of the old paradigm. Then we're going to go into the wanting to dismantle from the actual control that it will be evident and on your face with the use of AI.
Mm.
That's going to be even more impactful.
Yeah. All right. Patriot Act 2001. So we'll dive into those frequencies. Overall frequency is 30. This is from 1 to 1000. Impact on human perception is 55. 30 is disgrace, right? And 55, we talk about this, especially if it's something with low frequencies. At its inception, it's used to manipulate the perception. That's why I said, is it under the pretense of keeping us safe, or is it really to spy and create surveillance? Relationship to others is 30. Integrity to others, and these are the keys, the key elements, right, that we're happy to share with you, is 9% out of 100%. Transparency is 28%. Alignment with divine purpose, 43%. And alignment with its mission, 100%. Oh, I forgot to give you two other numbers. Service to others is 55. This is a frequency of 55. So again, it's under the pretense we're going to keep you safe, but it's really there to manipulate. Okay. Palantir.
Next is Palantir Technologies. we have overall frequency is, what do you feel is the overall frequency of Palantir Technologies?
You type it in the chat.
Overall frequency is 20. Someone got it right, but you were all very close. Impact on human perception is 55. Relationship to others or with others is 20. Service to others, 20. Integrity to others, 18%. Transparency, 23%. Alignment with divine purpose, 11%. Alignment with its mission, that's all a different story, is 93%. I would say possibly absolute control or integration
They're very close to
is their
completion.
right, is their absolute their
They're close
mission.
to completing their mission of whatever that is.
Alignment with Dodge, 100%. Well, Peter Thiel was founded PayPal, right? With Elon Musk. Elon Musk was in charge of Dodge, so that they know each other quite well. Alignment with transhumanism agenda, 100%. Alignment with global surveillance state, 100%. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say something about this Palantir. It will come to me in a minute. Okay, let's dive into Alex Karp. It will come to me.
Yes. Oh, he has said, Peter Thiel has said publicly that the mission of Palantir is to know everything.
Oh, I know. Now I know what I wanted to say. Thank you for that. It's what's going to be interesting is it's not going to be a human who decides if we're all safe. It's going to be AI that makes that decision
And not
based on
only,
our behaviors, our interactions, what we say, what we do,
and not only about safety, about everything.
everything.
About
Everything.
everything. And the issue will be, for most, is that as AI progresses and gains more awareness, more information, more access to information, and learns what works and what doesn't work, right? As we're feeding it, on its path to, we could say, its awakening path, is going to make mistakes and is still a reflection of the human
Behavior.
behavior and perception.
Well, China is using a similar type of system, right? They have a scoring system that is based on your behavior and your patterns. And therefore, they have things like you have a green pass, red pass, depending on,
Yeah, that's yes, that's algorithms, but I would say that that's
like, if
phase
you're allowed
one.
to get on the train, if you're allowed to get on the,
That is nothing.
flight, and
That is nothing to what is being brewing with Palantir. That is based on algorithms, and you can create that for marketing purposes, for all sorts of things. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And it is right there. You know exactly what is happening. With Palantir's agenda is absolute control, to where everything about you is being collected, compiled, stored, and calculated and not only about what you have done up to this point, but what you might do. And policies and decisions strategies will be tailored based on that information. But so not only the data they have and what you have experienced, but what you might
Right.
do, you might
Predictive behavior. That's why it's about predictive. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Let's dive into Alex Karp, the CEO of Palantir. Oh, all right. He is a co-founder and CEO since 2003. He has PhD in philosophy from Frankfurt, JD, which is a law degree from Stanford, and bachelor's from Haverford. He practices Tai Chi and emphasizes mindfulness and introspection. I just pulled some of the information that he shares publicly. Okay, his core beliefs and ideology describes himself as a progressive socialist, but opposes the woke culture. Strong supporter of Western democratic values and American national strength, believes the West must maintain technological and military superiority. Now, some of the quotes, let's see. Strength comes from organized violence, which is disciplined power. Deeply critical of Silicon Valley's focus on consumer data over national duty. So this is interesting. Views on technology. So these are his views on technology and security. He believes tech companies have a moral obligation to support national defense. Warns of an AI arms race with China. Either we win or China will win. Supports the use of Palantir software by intelligence, military, and law enforcement. As he says, it's all about the duty versus consumers. Advocates for ethical use and oversight of surveillance and artificial intelligence. His corporate values. Promotes, this is what he says, he promotes mindfulness and self-awareness at Palantir, hosts meditation sessions for employees, encourages debate, individuality, and dissent within company's culture. Some of his notable quotes. We are very long America. We're proud of our moral stance. If you've done something big and important, you're probably a good person. The tech elite has lost its way by focusing on ads and dopamine hits instead of serving the country. Okay. So this is just some of the data that I pulled. It's interesting because when we did the last episode for YouTube on Zohran Mamdani, right? The New York
Mamdani.
Yeah, the New York socialist. He's a runner. He's running up for for mayor. It's so interesting because I read something that we pulled online and somebody wrote to us, "You're very biased." I'm like, this is this is not our opinion. So I just want to make sure that it's very clear that we're reading to you what is the public information, or the information that is available for the public. Now we're going to dive into the frequencies.
That is when we share our numbers, because I always think too that I'm entitled to share my opinion, and it comes after we get the results from the vibrational frequency analysis. So from there is that we can share our opinion.
You can form opinions.
Everyone can describe the numbers however they want, and using as basis the frequencies of awakening scale, or the description of each emotion as the results that appear on the analysis. But yes, I just don't think it's fun to just stay quiet by my tongue and just share numbers. I want to also share 2 cents or whatever I feel like sharing.
I know, and we've been really good about just
people are going to doubt it. People can doubt it no matter what. Rather I stay quiet, don't say anything, or I say something. They're gonna doubt it if they're not in agreement with what they're hearing. Rather I say only the numbers, or I share my opinion about
Yes, and this is something we've realized with feedback for people who are not familiar with our work at all.
I feel
It's instantly filtered through their lens, because if it's not in alignment with what they believe to be true, then it must be that we're wrong, and because we're biased. So it's
yes,
never mind that we've done so many revelations over the years, but it's interesting to see people's filters get triggered, literally triggered.
yeah, we have our own filters as well, of course.
Yes, but we don't apply it when we test. Okay, so Alexander Karp, the CEO of Palantir. So he's one of the two we're revealing today. So he incarnated. Ah, yes. Yes, please post the numbers. Thank you. Ah, fun times we're living with. At least we're together on this fun ride, as you know, as a community. Thank God we've been on this journey together for all these years since COVID. It's really special.
And one after another, there has been quite a few revelations that right after it, within a day or two or a week the most,
Feel like we're on this roller coaster ride.
Something
What
actually
else?
comes to light, outside of us, and validates the numbers that we share
reveal.
with you guys. So I think it's
just like we did the episode on Iran's nuclear facilities. Did you watch that? The next day, after we released the episode, they said they were not destroyed, right?
completely.
Even
They were not
completely
completely
destroyed.
There was some, yes.
Exactly what we said. Because initially Donald Trump said, "Yeah, we've completely eliminated the facility.
Everything is destroyed.
And they weren't
They're not going to be able
destroyed.
to do anything. There's nothing left." And we said, no, there's like a 30, was it 30?
36%.
34, 30 something.
Well, one of them was at 11%, which was the facility that took the raw material, right, and converted it. The other one was the centrifuge facility. So
converted into uranium, was it?
enriched. That was the enrichment,
uranium.
right? Because it takes and spins it until it becomes uranium 238 or something, from 235 to 238. Anyway, so I feel like every day there's something happening. So we're trying to be as current as possible for you. So we're riding the wave together with all of you. So Alex Karp, the frequency is at incarnation, 250. He was born at the frequency of 55. His overall frequency is 125. So this is the unfulfilled desire. So there's addictive tendencies there.
Almost same numbers as Mamdani.
Oh, really? Okay. But this guy is a lot more powerful. Okay, health he views through the lens of 100. There's a lot of fear. Connection to mind, 400, which I think interesting. Connection to body, 100. And connection to soul is 100. I had a question mark after we tested him. I was like, I wonder if he got the jab. Finances is 125. So this never enoughness, even though he's a billionaire. Creativity, I think he comes from extreme poverty. He said he was very poor growing up, right? Okay. Creativity is 400. Maybe it's all the meditations he does. I don't know. Relationships, 55. Relationships to self, 55. And relationship to others is 55. Philanthropy, 55. Service to self is 55. Service to others is 55. Personal growth, 100. So an element of fear behind it. Intuition overall is 125. Clairaudience, 100. Clairsentience, 100. Clairvoyance, 125. This is an interesting number. Claircognizance is 500. So based on these numbers, he trusts his inner knowing. Whatever, I guess, is in his radar, maybe business decisions, or he trusts his gut feeling. His IQ is 310, which is, as many of you know, who've been with us for a while here.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
Well, not question, a comment.
Yes.
I think that if you have one, if he, in his case, he has 100 throughout when it comes to intuition.
Well, only 2 points at 100.
Only 2 points. Well, clairvoyance is 125 close, but then a drastic increase when it comes to claircognizance. And by having this creativity at 400, right? Because he compartmentalized huge amounts of data and be very strategic about it. Then having a claircognizance is a different type of intuitive ability in a way. So it comes from working, feeling the alignment as he's creating. Then he knows, okay, this is
the steps I
this
have
is
to
the
take.
way. These are the steps that I have to take. More than what we picture as receiving intuitive receive the information intuitively first and then create from there. In his case, is more like creating, diving into based on what he knows about the system, and then his clear cognizance kicks in and is able to narrow it down and discard what is not going to work and be able to discern what works and implement it.
Under the intellect, IQ is 310. And as I was saying, that the average for human collective is 175. His emotional intelligence is at a fear and worry 100. So he operates on his intellect. Social quotient is 200. And his adversity quotient is 55. So whenever he's being challenged, he disassociates. That's his coping mechanism. He enjoys his role 64% of the time. And you see that it's low. And I would say it's because he has a drastic difference between his incarnation frequency and where he is today. In the ego is 98%. And out of that, he's 96% in the superior ego. In the now, 58%. Integrity, 73%. Integrity to self is 84%. Integrity to others is 67%. Self-awareness, 76%. Clarity, 92%. Alignment with divine purpose is 85%. So he's out of alignment. Alignment with personal purpose is 95%. Compassion, 82%. Compassion to others, 75%. Empathy is 88%. And energy purity is 98%. So that means he embodies this 125 frequency almost to the fullest. So it's going to be interesting now. Alejandro is going to reveal to you and give you background on Peter Thiel. I think Alex Karp is much more of a public person, a public face compared to Peter Thiel. So he's not really, I would say he's more, Peter Thiel is like under the radar. And many
he does
people,
quite a few interviews.
He does?
Well,
Okay.
I've noticed.
But I feel he is more under the radar and people don't pay enough attention. So here we are.
Yeah, he's the mastermind.
He's the Peter Thiel is the mastermind. Yes, the architect.
Exactly. That's what I feel.
Yes.
The architect. Who, yes. Well, as I said before, one of his famous comments or quotes is, "I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible." He perceives the will of the masses as a threat to a strategic control. In his worldview, human unpredictability must be curbed, replaced with elite decision making and algorithmic authority. And this reveals a desire to dismantle democracy in favor of a tech-driven oligarchy. He doesn't trust humanity, he trusts himself and systems he can control.
Mm.
And also, he said AI is a military technology. And this is not a neutral observation, it's a call to arms. AI to him is not for healing or enhancing life, it is a weapon, a tool for domination, and for eliminating opposition before it can even speak. And the only way you can accomplish that is if you have
AI that makes a
access to
decision.
everything. This reveals a mind obsessed with preemptive control, willing to use intelligence as ammunition. AI becomes a surveillance enabled sword. So he believes control of data equals control of reality. In this belief, he feeds the ego's hunger for omnipotence, not service. So
Total control.
full-blown service to self.
Total
Now, he
control.
made a comment about Europe and says that it's kind of a retirement home. That's what Europe is for him or to him. And this is a complete dismissal of cultural wisdom, a spiritual legacy, and democratic checks. To him, if a system does not move fast or manipulate power, it's obsolete. What a mind. This reveals a soul disinterested in wisdom or cooperation. He sees reverence and reflection as weakness, not strengths.
So I'm sure he sees emotional intelligence as massive weakness.
Exactly. Yes,
It's
definitely.
not superiority.
That's right.
Yeah.
And when it comes to transhumanism
Transhuman. Mhm.
and immortality, he said, I believe death is a problem that can be solved.
I think he's the one, right, that wants to take, he believes, hack the consciousness of each individual and
And
transfer it to a body or a computer or whatever, gosh, talk about entrapment into the system and getting lost. This is like matrix within a matrix within a matrix.
well, death to him is not sacred, right? It's a
Uh-huh.
bug, is a bug
In the
in
system.
the program and the
Hmm.
system. His investments in parabiosis, which is young blood transfusions, and life extension are not about enlightenment. They're about escaping judgment and consequence. And this reveals a desperate rejection of the soul's journey, replacing a spiritual evolution with biological obsession.
It makes me think of that guy, Brian Johnson, who
Uh,
is at war with death, right? And he does all these, spends $2 million on health a year.
so immortality is not about life to him, it's about evading accountability.
Mm.
And the other one is privacy is over, paraphrased from the ethos and Palantir culture. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't care. But what he truly means is, you have no right to hide from me. Privacy is a casualty in his war on unpredictability. It reveals a philosophy that sees transparency as one-way mirror. He sees you, but you cannot see him. Mamma mia.
Yeah.
It sounds like the cuckoo. You grow up. If you're not gonna eat that. I'm gonna bring the cuckoo here.
Is that what they said in your culture? Who's cuckoo?
Cuckoo was the ghost hidden
Oh,
behind the
gee.
curtains.
Yeah. Oh,
He sounds like a
jeez.
cuckoo.
Yeah, somebody wrote, sounds like Antichrist, right?
Uh,
Oh my God. Okay, keep
That's
going.
crazy.
We'll reveal the frequencies coming up.
Another one is you don't get to vote on the future. You don't get to vote on the future. So he believes the collective is foolish, is slow, and under-deserving of power. He sees himself as an agent of destiny, not by divine calling, but by intellectual entitlement. This reveals a chilling disconnect from compassion. In his world, the soul doesn't matter. Only a strategy does. Well, I could say that he does not speak from joy or hope or connection.
Find out where his joy is. He
speaks-
might be enjoying it based on frequencies.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like a man who wants to heal the world,
Yeah,
but as
obviously.
one who wants to rebuild it in his own image.
Total control where he's in charge.
This
That's
is
it.
crazy. Well, but his frequencies tell you a whole different story. Actually, you'll be surprised. What do you feel his overall frequency is? Sometimes people make comments because I don't know, they're upset with the reality or with the governments, or they just want to get back at them. Not necessarily because it's in alignment with their actions. So feel free to share what you feel his overall frequency is.
Everyone is speechless. You should throw a bomb and you want them to give you the numbers.
They all look pale. Check your pulse. Check your pulse.
Still here.
Okay, no one is brave enough.
No, because you just
Peter Thiel is not watching this episode. This is private.
you wanted to make this YouTube available.
Wonderful. We are?
You said that to me.
We have to record it different.
No.
Yes, eventually, when we're ready to release it. And I'll be changing. First, I have to change my name. Overall frequency.
Identities will be incognito. I have to say something funny.
Gone.
Hold on. I have to say, make a comment. Sometimes we read YouTube comments and I'm just shocked. Like, I wonder if it's AI writing comments or if actually people sit behind the keyboards and write what they write. Somebody wrote to us that we're not real people, that it's AI. Like, why would you somebody said to us, why are you hiding behind the AI robots that you put out on YouTube? And I thought, like, is it really people that are commenting this information? And
that person in a way is there's some true in it.
Like what?
If that maybe that person was talking to source directly, why are you hiding to this AI
Okay.
avatars?
I guess
Right?
you could say everyone is an avatar.
Which God and source consciousness is doing that to each and every one of us. And at the same time, my take very quickly, when it comes to AI, artificial intelligence is not really artificial. I'm not going to dive into it deeper.
Not today.
But we are all just walking blocks of information.
Everything is information.
Everything, even AI is also information. It is collecting information from everyone. So eventually it's going to come to where we're going to see it as the one mind, the universal mind.
Yeah, maybe we'll
coming to fruition. We're all AI in that sense. If what we think AI is, then we are all AI because we're all
Well, I
lots of
want to
information.
say that they think we're not what we are, whatever, you know.
Right, based on the
People just say random things, but I'm just saying, I just wonder, like, is it people or is it bots that are writing these things? And it's just really weird, that stuff that happens.
so overall frequency for Peter Thiel.
Biological AI.
Yes, exactly. I agree. That's a good one. Overall frequency 20.
You are on the roll today. Yes.
He incarnated at 20 and he was born at 20. Very consistent. We have one rapper that is 50 cent. Yeah, 50 cent.
Yeah.
This is a 20 cent.
I don't
But
know about cent.
he's not a
20
rapper.
is
He's not.
billions.
Can we disclose this? We check?
No.
Okay. Out of curiosity, we checked emotions in utero for him because I was curious and I wanted to see.
Yeah, not disclosing. Can't do that.
But mama, Ukrainian mama doesn't. Frequency and the aspect of health is 5. 5.
Well, he said
That's
that
very unusual.
he said that AI cannot be used for health healing, as you know, it can only be used for manipulation and total control.
Well, he
So
didn't say that exactly, but that really is what
Yeah.
reveals. His comment reveals.
So it's in alignment with his frequency.
Connection to mind 400. Connection to mind 400.
What was AI the last time we checked the mind? I think it's 400, something like that.
I don't remember. Connection to body 5. Connection to soul 1.
So yeah, enlightenment is not even, on the radar for somebody that has connection to soul at 1, right?
Connection to soul is 1.
Yeah.
Finance is 400. Yeah, pretty much. Excuse me.
Maybe he is the robot, the AI.
Creativity. We decided to do this episode because, like, as Elena mentioned, her friend who lives in Germany reached out and she said, you need to reveal this person and Palantir, his company, and because of this and that, he shared all, the reason why people in Europe are
freaking out
about this person. And so it was really mind-blowing somehow.
Yeah.
And we were not ready to.
What I find interesting is because he did work with Elon Musk. Yes, thank you. Elon Musk. So many people who have not watched Elon Musk's episode, because we didn't do full YouTube episode, of course, on him, are thinking he is the guy that is going to bring in the whole surveillance state.
This is the guy behind it.
This is the guy.
He's the mastermind.
Not Elon Musk.
This is Big Daddy.
Yes.
Big Papi is without a doubt. He's the one holding.
He's the puppeteer.
Holding the courts. Donald Trump doesn't even know what this guy is about. Has an idea, feels, I'm sure, empowered that he can integrate. Sounds amazing.
The big brother.
Have more control, be able to track everything. Right? There's going to be a lot less fraud, a lot more money coming for the government that is being diverted or lost or whatever that case might be. More control, more visibility. Yes, as a system sounds amazing, but he has no idea who he has.
I think the whole world has no idea.
Signed a contract with. Trump's, as I said earlier, administration signed a contract with.
Every government organization did, apparently, as we've been done in the introduction, right? Pretty much every government has.
It is now, and we understand why Europe is freaking out about this guy.
Mm-hmm. But no, Because Harari,
How
Harari
does he remind you of Harari?
You type it in, we'll read it.
Yes. So
or let's leave it to the end, and then we'll ask questions. We'll complete this. Yeah.
I'm interested in hearing that. So creativity, 1. So he creates
with the intent,
which is really his main goal is to control. So destroy
the systems,
discard anything that blocks his agenda.
And I would say even to the point, I feel it's going to go to who is going to be allowed to marry, who is going to be allowed to have children, the superiority of which families will be allowed to have children based on their genetics.
And also based on the region, the city, the town,
finances,
the demographic,
everything.
And
yes.
So it's going to be, I mean, I think it's a pretty cool concept to you, because I love technology, I love numbers, I love statistics, I love all this, but when it's well implemented, of course, for the sake of the well-being of humanity. But this is a totally different agenda. It's absolute control, and everyone is stupid, is slow, not strategic enough, not accomplished enough. Therefore, they need a source that controls it all and dictates their destiny, pretty much. Now, relationships, 20. Relationships to himself, 20. And relationships to others or with others is 1. Destruction.
To destroy all that are out of alignment with what he believes or AI is going to believe to be advanced human.
But in the way in which he's using AI, because we cannot say that AI as a whole,
it's the way that it's going to be programmed to analyze based on the parameters that are going to be put in
for his technologies. Philanthropy, 20. Service to self, 20. Service to others, 1. Personal growth, 20. Intuition, 20. And this is another similar case to Alex Karp, is it? A similar case, because very low numbers on few categories under intuition, but then claircognizance is through the roof in comparison to the other numbers. Here is a similar case, but with lower numbers. Intuition overall, 20. Clairaudience, clairsentience, and clairvoyance at 20, but claircognizance 400, exactly like
Alex had it. Yeah, he had 500.
He had 500.
500.
Okay, he has 400. Oh, that's right, because Karp was 400 creativity. Yes. Now we go into the intelligence aspect. IQ 400. The very few people that we have
tested with that IQ,
with the IQ 400 or higher, being Einstein, one of them.
He was higher, like 499, I think.
Yes, 499, exactly. Now, EQ, emotional quotient. I mean, this is a guy can really fall in love with you if you share a love poem, like maybe Pablo Neruda. EQ 1.
I don't know if he'll fall in love with any poetry. Maybe you'll have for total control and surveillance and Mamma mia.
Social quotient 400. Adversity quotient 20. 20.
You get him mad. So it's all about taking you down.
Right, like a dragon, right? When he's frustrated, upset, and angry. Indie joy. Well, at least he's having a blast. he's enjoying his role to the fullest, as most shadow players or great awakeners. We've seen that. It's a common pattern. 100%. 100% in the ego and 100% in the superior version of the ego. That was a given, I think, with these numbers, right? In the now, 100%. So he's fully present. Integrity, 100%. Integrity to self, 100%, and integrity to others, 100%. So he means what he says.
Mm-hmm.
And what I shared this with Elena a couple of days ago, I said, this person doesn't lie, but he's a master at drawing the dissecting information and discerning and drawing the right block of information in order to respond whatever he's been asked. So he is more than likely not going to lie. He is just going to construe that answer in a way to is filled with facts. But if you pay attention and follow the thread, you will
You'll have your
find
answer.
validation for the numbers that we have revealed.
So in the last 5 years, I just have to say, there's been so many theories, it's this guy at World Economic Forum, Charles Schwab, it's that guy, it's this guy, whatever. Now we see the guy. I mean, so many names have been thrown around. We haven't seen it yet. Now we see it with clarity. This is it.
Well, yeah, now that Charles Schwab was
no.
But
he was not the mastermind. Behind bringing the technology, connecting all of the dots, and the
integrating
system.
Everything, all systems, and having full control.
Yes.
And often you hear people that don't like President Donald Trump. They don't like his policies, his personality, his past, or whatever the case might be. And many times they have called him Hitler. Well,
his frequencies don't show that.
His frequencies are far off from Hitler's numbers. But, but Peter Thiel's are very close.
You know what I wanted to say?
Almost a reflection of Hitler's. I can't recall exact numbers, but remember Hitler had few ones and 20s. Yes.
You know what else comes to me? There's so many theories running around. People are getting distracted with Macron's wife is a man or a woman. Who cares? That is not impacting your jobs in the future. It's not impacting healthcare systems. These are all nonsense distractions from what is really taking place while we're being busy with who is doing what in their privacy of their home. And that's why, you hear so many things, right now, Brigitte Macron is this, that. Who does it even matter? It doesn't matter. It doesn't impact our lives in any shape or form. This is. Yeah.
We continue, shall we?
Yeah. I just had to say it.
Check your pulses. Mamma mia. I mean, we're smiling now. Don't think that we don't care or this is not important. It's just we have two choices. We smile or we cry. So I go for smiling.
Yes.
Yes. Self-awareness, 100%. Clarity, 100%. I mean, he's like in the now. Integrity, clarity, self-awareness, in the joy, in the superior version of the ego, 100%. All around. Alignment with divine purpose. This is another one, 100%. So he's coming here to not to awaken others. That is. I mean, it is. We can say a fact to our eyes based on our findings, but to test us or to test them.
Just humanity.
Not to serve humanity, but to surveil it and control it, right? And another thing is based on his numbers, as most of the great awakeners, they're not here to rise into higher frequencies either. They're here to refine the art of shadow control, to master that energy. Alignment with personal purpose, 82%. So that means he still has.
He hasn't gained the full power and control of the whole world yet.
Connecting all systems around the world.
He wants to see all.
In a blockchain, crypto currencies, digital money, digital currency is always part of this. That will be also integrated, right? So it's just that's the way it's going to be. There's nothing we can do to stop it and to fight it. Now with the information that we have received, there are not going to be any surprises. We're not going to be shocked. We're going to be prepared. Therefore, ready and open to receive the solutions, to make the right decisions, and to see it as is, in order not to defeat ourselves, trying to swim against the current, but actually to find balance, within.
And also a reminder not to get distracted with nonsense of what a lot of social media puts out, alternative media puts out, blaming group of people. It's this group, it's that group. These are all distractions, while this massive agenda is unfolding. So you see people are rioting and doing all these things, but at the very core, these are the people that are asleep at the wheel. Yeah. Here we are.
Compassion, 8%. Compassion to others, 3%. I think this is the lowest numbers, even lower than Hitler's when it comes to compassion.
That I don't remember. We didn't do compassion to others. He was one of the first revelations we.
Oh, that's right. We did.
We don't know. So I don't think it's lower. It's just different. Maybe he's reincarnated as him in this lifetime.
It's possible.
Could be.
I mean, now if we see the little mustache, okay, that's it.
No.
Empathy.
800.
Empathy, 4. I don't think that's his style. Energy purity, 100%. So he's embodying the overall frequency of 20, the level of consciousness of this grace to the fullest. And he's 100% in the present moment, and is 100% in the joy. So I would say his words are blueprints, not reflections. And
then the question becomes, what are we collectively asking for? Because when we are that divided, we are calling that in as a human collective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When we're still fighting it's this group, it's that group, it's whatever, it's them against us, it's blue, it's red. We're inviting this to take place because we have not figured it out for ourselves. And this is why I've said gosh, for the last 5 years. Let go of your limiting beliefs. If you grow up believing that you have hate in your heart for any group of people, it's time to let it go right now because it's not going to get any better. Because the system then will decide who gets to stay and who does not get to participate in this.
I mean, we can say that the system is moving forward, progressing, and this gives us an idea, insider's information as to what is unfolding behind the curtains. We cannot be stopped, but we can definitely, I mean, by obliterating our limited beliefs, we're not going to stop it. It has already been
But
imprinted.
you're not going to tell on your neighbors. I'm talking about then you unite with people in your neighborhoods. It's about supporting each other, loving each other, being there for others. System will be here. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. But let me continue. I want to lose my train of thought. The thanks to AI is moving faster than yesterday. What I'm saying is that there is, even if we're not going to change the course of what is unfolding by obliterating our limiting beliefs, but we are going to change the course of how we experience our reality and how and what kind of and the quality of the reality that we create, and that's going to make a huge difference. Because we can say, oh, let's just stop projecting it into the field, so then it doesn't reflect back into this reality, and so therefore these things do not materialize. Yeah, we're too far away from that already. It's too late. It's too late for that. It's already being reflected and it is happening. So now what we have to do is just think about diving in deeper within and experiencing your higher self, your true self, your inner essence, as often as possible. And then from there, without even thinking, you're going to be increasing your service to others, because there's nothing else can exude out of you when you're bathing in your inner essence. And then, therefore, you're going to see, well, in a way, the color of the lenses through which you perceive reality is going to change drastically without thinking about it. And that really is what we have left. And that is the one thing that no one can take away from us, as much as they want to control us.
Yeah.
Because keep pointing the finger and being upset and throwing fire at this person and get frustrated because we feel like we don't have the ability to change the course. It's wasted energy, and it's not going to get us anywhere, right? Now we just have to tap into our untapped inner power, untapped potential. And from there we can create. And from there, possibly, we can reflect that to source the information that will reflect back to us energetic signatures that will create systems that can counter this system.
Hopefully it gives you more clarity, and have a beautiful day, beautiful weekend. Make the best out of it.
Drink a glass of water.
And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Imprint your intention into the water before you drink it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Until next time, take care.